Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's time to finish this game that took 3 years too long. Hello everybody, and welcome back for the finale of Gex Enter the Gecko. I'm Hunter, and reluctantly one last time saying his reluctantly going to say his signature catchphrase that I wish I could ditch, but it's kind of stuck with me now, I suppose. The water is there, fair and a polar bear, and in the last part, we cleared a few PlayStation exclusive stuff, as well as the PlayStation exclusive level, Mazed and Confused, and in this part, we're heading into the thick of Rezopolis.
Welcome to the only thing more evil than IRS headquarters.
Indeed. Indeed. So, yep. Even though I said at the end of the last part I was gonna leave it up to you guys, I kinda forgot I needed to record this part now so I could edit it and have it ready for Sunday, which is when you're seeing it. Hopefully live. I'm testing the premiere thing. I know that's kind of dating the aspect of the commentary, but yeah, I'm testing the premiere thing on YouTube and see how that fares out. Figure why not? It makes sense too, cause television jokes. Oh! So yeah, that's a thing. I completely blanked there. Wow, that was amazing.
500 channels and still nothing on.
I'm gonna use that as a sinking point if nothing else. Anyway, heard you like disco. Oh yeah. Disco Fever. This is another PlayStation exclusive track, by the way, because I have no recollection of this playing in the N64 version. By the way, would like to make a correction on the last part, where I think, or the part before that, where I think I said I didn't play the N64 version of Gex 2, or even the N64 version of Gex 2 in general, as much as the PlayStation version. Like, I did play a lot of Gex 64, I don't think I remember as much of it fondly as I do my memories of the PlayStation version of Gex 3, so yeah. I do remember the Titanic levels, so that is a thing I'm sure of. Anyway, enough reminiscing, let's look at this Rezopolis. Yeah, so this is the penultimate level, ignoring the bonus stage that comes after this, because why not? And I think I'm trying to remember if they use this theme in the N64 version. I know they use different themes. Or if they use the one that was in Mazed and Confused. Because typically it's like they use the first one, but at the same time I feel like this one also played, but I don't think it did. I think it was the one in Mazed and Confused. But I'm not sure because I don't have the N64 version on me. You know, well, I mean, I do. I own it. But I don't have the patience to go through pretty much most of the game to find that out.
At least I'm not at the DMV.
Another sinking point, thank you for that. Okay. By the way, these things don't drop anything else after they drop the few scripper bits, so you could just keep whacking them if you want. There's no real point. You can just keep doing it. Because why the hell not, right? I can think of plenty of reasons, but still. Yes. Adjusting myself so I can get a better intake on the microphone. Why did I pause there? No, I don't remember either. Why did I pause there? Oh boy! So... yeah, no, I'm dimming this a smidge. Okay, sure, Gex, whatever you say. Yeah, I'm just dimming this a slight, just in case. Just in case. I don't think it's too bright, but, you know, but it's safe than... Sorry. Okay, we're good now. Welcome back, everybody. How was that experience? Pretty good? Pretty good. Oh, boy. Yeah, so this part gets a little final level-y, and I'm pretty sure they reused some of these textures in the one army stage in Gex 3, the name of which I do not remember the name of which I don't remember. The name of which I don't remember off the top of my head. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at these. They look like... Okay. So... Actually, oh wait, because there's a quote coming up. There's a quote coming up, but I want to talk about those dials in a moment. Because I think I have a childhood interpretation of what I thought those were. And it's kind of stupid. Okay, it's really stupid.
So, this is where they decided to change code.
Topical, but not really. I'll get onto that bit in a moment. Maybe, maybe not, probably not. It's not even relevant. Okay, I'll get on that part in a moment. Anyway, so those dials, the TV dials, I thought they were like Jiffy Pops. Yeah, I don't know why I thought they looked like Jiffy Pops to me, but I think that's what I interpreted it as. Yeah, I think that's right. That seemed right. I don't want to. I'm questioning my memory here, so you know that's never a good thing. I keep doing this reluctantly now, like impulsively stopping whenever Gex opens his goddamn mod. Checkpoint. Whew, haven't seen that in a while. Forgot how bright those goddamn things were. Jesus. Yeah.
At least I'm not at the DMV.
This track's definitely PlayStation exclusive. It's a bop for sure. I'm stuck here, but not really. It's just kind of weird. Thought I'd position myself for the thumbnail, but I don't use this as the thumbnail, as you can clearly tell. And I was basically trying to get up here to see what there was nothing.
Now that's what I call getting some
It was nothing. There was nothing. There was nothing up there. It was a waste of time. I wasted your time and mine. So I believe. Man, I don't even remember. Now I recorded these a few days ago.
Sweet, like candy.
I don't remember which part it was, whether it was Wednesday's part or Friday's part, whether I mentioned, you know, Sonic Colors is the next notable LP, but I kind of want to do a few random games. Not really random, they're kind of well-known games, but I figured to do them because they're on my mind and I want to play them, and also it gives me a good excuse to test out the HD upscaler thing. Yes, I'm doing a few N64 games. No, Banjo-Kazooie is not one of them, even though it probably should be one of them, considering that game turned 20 years old, by God. Whew, I feel like a dinosaur. Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie is going to be coming up eventually at some point. Want to do a test run LP with the N64 and the upscaler first, and I want to say that maybe Diddy Kong Racing. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is going to be Diddy Kong Racing. Also, another thing notable about this level is that the collectibles do not respawn, interestingly enough. And the reason for that is they give you basically the exact amount, more or less. Spider's web. Yeah, I'm just doing the riff tracks thing and using these things as sinking points. If nothing else, I gotta lean in closer to the microphone so it doesn't sound like I'm sitting at a distance. Still gotta use this thing. Maybe I gotta invest in an arm or something. Probably. Very much likely.
I gotta make.
Also, Gex talks to the fly a lot if you didn't pick up on that through the 17 previous parts, and I'm not good at this section. But thankfully, I have 39 lives to spare, so I mean, why the hell not?
Terminator, phone call for a Mr. Terminator.
Might as well use them while I got them, right? I mean, I don't even remember if this is one of those games that resets your lives if you exit and re-enter the game, unlike, you know, certain other games, namely Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Why? Why do you do that when you give us opportunities to grind lives in-game anyway? I don't understand. Thankfully, Odyssey doesn't come... Okay, so you know what? Let me talk about that as an aside for a bit. Mario Odyssey is a game that came out. I have yet to play it. Why?
So, this is where they decided to change code.
No, actually, Gex, that is not why. That has nothing to do... That doesn't even follow... What? Okay. Real reason being is that I only got a Switch like a year after the thing came out. Yeah. That, and I wanted to put a priority of games, based on, you know, ones I kind of wanted to play and get out of the way. I think the order was basically Zelda, because OVs. Then it was Splatoon 2, because I love Splatoon 1 a lot. And then... Well, it was going to be Mario Odyssey next. Unfortunately, there was a lot of games that came out between when I got Splatoon 2 and Odyssey, so I played a bunch of those. But now I finally have Odyssey. I just gotta finish The World Ends With You Final Remix and that extra campaign. And when I do that, then I'll probably do Odyssey after I finish a bunch of. Why am I talking about my backlog? Is this the low I've sunk to? Is this the low I've sunk to where I'm talking about my goddamn backlog? Yes, yes, it is. Everybody, enjoy as we revel in my mediocrity at making good commentary, because I'm pretty good at making good commentary, and also keep that fly because you can take a hit easily that way. Flies are your friend. And did I mention that these little remotes are timed? I think you have to hit the remotes in a certain order. Well, I'm not sure if it's a certain order, but you have to hit them quickly, otherwise this happens. And they go back down. Well, they pop back up, rather. And those platforms didn't want to spawn for some reason, but they did now, so that's what matters. Man, I was on a roll the last few parts. What happened? What happened? I don't know, but it's gone now. But yeah, no. Let me go back a bit. And by a bit, I mean to what I was talking. The music in Rezopolis is probably my favorite in the game, mostly because it sticks out, being industrial and it actually having some kind of flow to it. And we're in the church now. And the music has completely changed to something a lot more slow and ominous. Yeah, they give you just enough.
Forget about it.
So it's my assumption that there's probably like one or two that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. And I'm trying to find the hidden remote, that's why I'm scouring the level and not ending it when I could. But yeah, they give you just enough, so that there's like probably two that you can potentially miss, and so otherwise they give you exactly. Math is easy. 120 along the way, so you can get the golden remote that way. So that's pretty neat and kind of cool. Unfortunately, slurring. Fortunately, meaning this is a good thing. You don't have to first of all, ride that platform, because heck it. Second of all, you don't have to worry about the collectibles clipping through the floor. Unlike Gangster TV. No, I will never forgive that level for what it did to me. Because goddammit, that was some bullshit. Anyway, normally this would be the part where I'd, end it, but if you recall correctly, I did say that there was one more bonus stage left to do, and it's this one. Chips and dip. Why? Because yes. But before that, I have to go find the hidden remote. By which I mean I show you how to get the hidden remote, and then I do a jump cut. Because why the heck not? And enjoy my save process, people. It's like over at 28%. I don't think I'm gonna touch that save anytime soon. Save, yeah, you know what? There isn't like 1,000-year door post-game stuff to do, so it's like, whatever.
It's tail time.
Anyway, I was gonna stop saying that word. I started up again. I hate. Anyhow, ooh, we're spicing it up. There we go. I found an alternative.
Looks like we got a supply in the
Spider's web. Just making sure I'm on point. Okay. Anyway, Hoodle, we're going to do a magical jump cut that I'm going to continue doing the commentary through, because this is post-commentary in case you forgot. So we're gonna, that's gonna happen momentarily. Man, I should not have fronted myself up by saying I was gonna premiere this episode and then constantly thinking about it. Yeah, it's not a good idea to do that, because then otherwise you get stage fright, which shouldn't exist because you're doing a commentary in front of literally no one.
This is where they decided to change code.
It's also where the hidden remote is, incidentally. So yeah, it's in this area where you have to jump across the precarious pit of death that acts like a Mario 1 lava pit, because of course you do. And by of course you do, I mean just, yes. But yeah, it's here. It's actually not that out of the way, I'm just an idiot and blind. So I didn't notice it, because of course. I don't know why I changed to manual. That was weird. And also very interesting that, I remember that you can exit the level with the hidden remote and, still keep it. Unlike you know, when I was recording the Titanic footage, because I just completely forgot about that point, and I was like very scared about whether or not it would actually work, and it does work. So thankfully, that's a thing. Anyway, doodle, there's only a few things left to do. And that is the final boss, and before that, the final bonus level, which is very easily accessible if we go this way, because it is actually at the end of the paths through the stages we've done previously. Yeah, it was Samurai Night Fever. Okay, good. I wasn't going to mad. Anyway, it's across from Pain in the Asteroids. This is Chips and Dips.
It's tail time.
Not Chips and Dip, it's Chips and Dips. Also, I do a sneaky little jump cut here that's super subtle.
Lady, you gotta change your lint filter.
Ew. That's gross. Anyway, I did I don't know if you noticed, because I try to make it as seamless as possible, but because of that, I'm going to point it out very obviously that this is my second run of the level. The first time I ran out of time. So that's a thing. Anyway, why did I decide to not have this bonus level in an earlier part? Well, for one thing, there's... Well, you unlock it after you beat No Weddings and a Funeral, and get, you know, enough gold remotes and silver remotes to do so, and secondly, because there's developer phases, and, you know, I'd imagine these are developer phases anyway. These kind of seem like developer phases. And it's also probably why you unlock this last instead of, you know, Bugged Out, which is a Rezopolis themed bonus level. But regardless, yeah, these are developers, I'd imagine. Because otherwise, why would this place exist? Now, this is something I don't know off the top of my head, is whether or not the N64 version had these textures here. I'm pretty sure this bonus level was here, but it might not have been, for all I know. And I'm just very dumb and stupid. But at the very least, I actually have a text document that tells me which levels are exclusive. What am I doing? Yeah, I actually have a text document. No, this level is in the N64 version, I guess. Maybe it doesn't have the, maybe it just doesn't have the, thing. So, you know, it could just be that. Also forgot I got the reruns was a stage. Oh yeah, no, that was the space one. That was the space one, right. Anyway, there was also a quote that you guys didn't hear, which is probably brought up in an earlier part anyhow. So I'm just gonna use the time after this rad beat ends to play it out for you. Here you go.
What is this, outtakes from Deep Space Nine?
Wasn't that fun, kids? I bet that was absolutely enthralling. Yeah, I bet you anything it was. Anyway, if y'all could do me a favor and keep your ears closed, by which I mean open them up really wide, because, well, last thing we've got to do is tackle Channel Z, which is the final boss, and Rez mocks you constantly, and I don't know what he says.
You finally met your match, young listener.
By which I mean I do know what he says, but sometimes it's really hard to make out. So, yeah, we're gonna be boosting the audio up quite a bit. And this theme is also a bop.
The wrath of Rez is upon you. Prepare to suffer under my wrath.
That sounds like a challenge.
Gecko chop, baby, yeah.
Let's stand sideways and enter the boss arena, where we see the man himself, Rez, looking like he's lost a bit of leg. Since, well, actually never, because as far as our playthrough continuity is concerned, the last game we did was Gex 3, and this is Gex 2. But I can tell you for one thing, I'm pretty sure he has legs in the first game. In fact, I have the page up right now. No, never mind, he also does not have any legs, but he had a cool-ass cape thing. So that was neat. Also, the final boss of Gex 1 is incredibly difficult and a bit bullshit in how exact you have to be. I should probably be talking about this boss, though. So for that first phase, you have to have Rez run into the middle of the arena while it's electrified, and then he just hurts himself. So, you know, that's pretty great. Or whack him in there, one of the two. And then for the second phase, he gets really big and the music kicks up a notch. Can you guess what you gotta do? Yes, it involves that giant TV at the top of the stage. But yeah. So for this part, we have to get that giant TV to, you know, smack him in the head a few times. And by a few times, I mean 3, because of course. Now, the gimmick for this part is that those little tubes that come up are what you have to have Rez hit in order for the TV itself to drop.
You stole an everlasting Gobstopper! Good day, sir!
The problem being is that I don't really have any idea as to how his hitbox works for the attacks. I mean, the arm sweep is pretty telling, and it's probably the easiest thing to dodge, as well as the laser beams depending on how you swing, but that? No, I don't have any ideas. Because I swear sometimes that the hitbox extends farther than it really should, and other times it's like, no, it's like exact. So, my best word of advice, take your time. Don't try and rush to the things like I'm doing, especially considering that, you know, it really doesn't make any sense how the arm slam hitboxes work. And eventually, this will happen where it just spawns right on top of you, and I'm like, wait a minute, crap! It was right there the whole time. And I die just as he takes hits. Wow.
Someone needs a makeover.
And it's probably me. Considerably.
You cannot escape from my empire. You want a piece of me? Come and get me.
Okay. In we go! Again! Yeah, this first phase, like I said, is relatively easy. You gotta get him to run into the middle of the room, which hurts him because he's dumb and he doesn't get it.
You, sir, are a bull.
Although there's the off chance that if you're standing on the other side, you go into the missile firing mode, which is supposedly easy. Of course, I take a hit like a dumbass, but that's just me. Your luck may vary. You know, actually, I should correct myself. I forgot. It isn't Rez who I have a hard time understanding. It's Gex. You see, I was editing this, and I was boosting up Gex's quotes, like I usually do, and I honestly can't tell what half of the things he says are. Like, I just can't. I mean, I know a few of them, and some of them are really clear, but the intense amount of noise that goes on in this fight makes it incredibly hard to tell what he's saying half the time. Which, for some, is probably a good thing, but for me, it's like, I want to archive this genuine funny audio in this video game. So, yeah, it's a little annoying that I can't understand what he says half the time. Now, I'm trying to vaguely remember the final boss of Gex 3, and if this even is remotely as annoying as that, and I have to say probably not. I remember having an insanely difficult time with the Gex 3 final boss. Granted, it has been almost a decade at this point since I did that LP, so who can say really? Who can say? Yes, a decade since I did Gex 3. Let us not hope that the same happens to the first game, because otherwise I will be upset at myself to an insane degree. Because that's just ridiculous, I'm sorry.
Hey, monkey.
Yeah, no, I hope to get to Gex 1 eventually, and by eventually I mean within the next year, because I don't want to have you people wait. Not that long. Not that long. Not that long ever again.
I never hit ladies, and you're no lady.
Well, I mean, no, he's a robot. Obviously not a woman of any stature, with or without legs. Because, you know, he don't got no legs. He flies around, he doesn't walk. Speaking of Rez here, so I don't know if I brought this up, and I don't think I did. No, actually, I'm pretty sure I did at one point. So there's an interesting tale about Rez's character that I don't know was made fully, or no, it was. In Gex story, Gex mentions it, because, you know, this is a sequel. That game is a sequel to this one, which is a sequel to Gex 1, and plot, but also, yeah, no, why am I even talking about this? He brings it up in the ending, which will transpire in at least 6 minutes. So please be patient, myself. I don't jump the gun that soon. Otherwise, you'll be on the other side of the gun, and then you'll have to turn around to pick it up, instead of, you know, just picking it up where you stand right now. You like literal jokes, people? They're hilarious. And I actually don't remember if he takes 2 or 3 hits, because I swear that I got him only once before, but I'll have to keep an eye out during that. No, I think it's 3 times. If not, it is 2. It definitely feels like a 3-hit thing, though. If not, it is it's 2 hits at this phase, particularly because it's so, you know, tightly choreographed. Man, I spoke myself into a corner trying to think of the right words to follow that up with. Ooh, and I managed to air dodge that like a pro. To which I'm not really that pro, because I'm a dumb kid who plays video games to the internet. So, you know.
Heavens to the big Kajuna.
Heavens to him, indeed. Missed. See, like, what is the hitbox on that thing? I never ever understood what the hitbox. Like, usually with these kinds of things, there's a trick. There's a secret strat. Like, stand directly behind the thing. Stand on top of the thing. Stand at a decently reasonable distance from the thing. And then he'll hit it. But I tried pretty much all of them, and none of them seemed consistent, so what do? What do? Perhaps I am just, you know, I was just not in the right state of mind when I was recording the footage, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I tried this. So that's why I've come to the conclusion that the best thing you could do is just, you know, stand in like a region where there's a couple of these things that can crop up and just wait with, you know, instead of trying to run to the other side of the map, because that's liable to get you killed easily, as seen there. Now, I left in most of this audio because it's pretty badass what Gex finishes it off with. I think that was nicely timed, if unintentional, because that's probably just the general quote you get when you whack a TV with a fly in it, but, you know, I thought it was pretty neat and well timed. Alright, so I'm gonna do the math game and actually count this time. That's 1. And no, I'm pretty sure it's 3 in the first phase at the very least. Because otherwise, that would be weird and silly. And if it's 2, then that's incredibly underwhelming, to say the least. But yeah, you can either have him run into it like a putz, or you could kick him into it with a tail swipe. I'm loving how every time I say the name of an attack, it's something different. Maybe the reason why I'm not doing the best with commentary at the moment is because I'm a little hungry. That could be a decent reason too. that could be a very viable reason as to why I'm not having good commentary right now, but that's the fly talking to him. By the way, don't worry about it. You didn't need to hear that. You've heard it thousands of times before. But also, another thing is that I've lost my train of thought, which is great. It's always great when that happens. What was I going to say? I forgot. Oh no, that's not good. I thought I was going to say something genius. Oh man, that's the worst thing. No, we here at Channel SyKhotic, that isn't really anybody but myself, so I don't know why I even call it that, because that implies there's more than one person operating this channel when there is not. It's just me and only me. Believe in single takes. We do not do second takes, which is why I do post commentary sometimes.
You call it work. I call it.
And that is one of the very few quotes where I 100% have literally no idea what he said. So I've decided my best thing was to stand on the goddamn things, because I think before I thought they hurt you, and then just wait until his hand comes down and then jump out of the way like a ninja. And for some reason that seemed to work, because every time I did it, he hit it. So I guess do that. It isn't made very clear, to say the least. And even then, I wasn't even standing on it, so it's like, it's not consistent. Also, I think that was 2 hits. Was I counting? I don't think I was counting. I forgot to keep count again. People in the comments, keep count how many times you needed to hit him in that phase where he grows big. But also, yay, we're done! We have beaten Gex 2, which is why there's exactly 10 more minutes of footage.
Gex, it is me, your father.
Yeah, right. How can you be my father?
It's true. I didn't always look like this. I fell into a scrap heap while trying to get free cable.
And your point is?
No! No! Don't do it! I'll do anything. I know Tarantino's Gardner's fiancé. I could probably get you a meeting.
Okay then, Dad. How's about we forget all this and go play catch in the yard? Pardon my tongue, darling.
Come over here, you big stud.
Okay, so 3 things. 1, how did the glass not shred his tongue? Because he clearly broke the martini glass with his tongue. 2nd, yes, that is the girl from Pandemonium, which is another Crystal Dynamics game of this era. 3, yes, he probably fucks her. I'm just gonna leave that thought in your head. Anyway, so if you 100% the game, you get this little slideshow showing concept art of enemies and other such things, and it's all kind of neat, and also this pretty bopping song that is a remix of various quotes from the first game. And I know it's from the first game because the opening quote is "Clock says party time," and that was definitely his catchphrase in the first game. I would know. I've played it a couple of times. So yeah. That's basically the end of Gex Enter the Gecko, aside from my final thoughts, which I'll save for the actual credits, because these are not the actual credits. That's just a straight up dinosaur. That's just straight up a dinosaur. Some of these concepts I'm glad did not make into the game, but others are, you know, I wish they did. Maybe not that dude, or that dude, or, well, that thing just looks polygonal as hell. But yeah. Some of these concepts and stuff I wish made into the final game, but, you know, they didn't. Anyway, there's another thing that comes with this credits. It's a funny little top 10 list thing done by Gex. Which I don't actually think is that funny, but hey, it's here, so I'm gonna shut up while you listen to it with your ears.
Okay, here it goes. Hot off the presses from the home office in Kapalawani, Maui. The top 10 reasons why it's cool to be me, Gex. Number 10, can look down blouses when hanging from ceiling. Number 9, and inheritance from Uncle Izod means no longer having to kiss video game executives' butt. Number 8, ladies love a gecko's smooth skin and smooth moves. Number 7, able to kick Kermit the Frog's butt. Number 6, perfect star for Hollywood, already has forked tongue. Number 5, Dad is a megalomaniac TV killer who happens to dress like the Tin Man. Oh, I'm sorry. My mistake. That goes with the Son of Ross Perot top 10 list. Number 4, being a video game star allows you to eat all you want and never gain weight. Number 3, Gecko tastes like chicken. Number 2, important gecko appendages do grow back. And the number 1 reason why it's cool to be me, Gex, can be a complete punk and still sucker video game execs to keep doling out the green. It's good to be a gecko.
Okay, so 2 questions actually regarding that. 1, does Gecko actually taste like chicken? And 2, that last one is funny, because he only made one other game after this one, and then he disappeared into obscurity. Well, obscurity saving for, say, for basically everybody on the internet talking about him, like he was this big B-grade mascot of the era, when he was just another one that stuck out for various reasons, one way or the other. Anyway, so okay. That is actually the end of Gex Enter the Gecko. Oh boy. Did this really need to take 3 years for me to know? It didn't. It straight up did not. So, with that being said, what do I think about the game, having not played it for, almost 3 years? Last time I played it properly was nearly 3 years ago. My memory, if it serves me correctly, and I think I keep this running so I could do final thoughts. If memory serves me correctly, the reason I did the PlayStation version was 1, the extra stuff, and 2, because I think this is just the better way to play it. You're playing a butchered port if you do the N64 version. Yes, you get the Titanic level, but that level kind of, well, as I've stated before, sucks. For reasons I didn't disclose, but basically it boiled down to I don't like the swimming controls, and it just felt incredibly sluggish. But getting to the game proper, what do I think about Gex 2, specifically? In a few areas, like it more than Gex 3, particularly when it comes to doing 100%, mainly because the whole collectibles aspect gives you a lot more openness to be a bit more loose with trying to get everything. That and, you can't get screwed out of and locked into endgame, just unbeatable situations like that where, one of the collectibles clips to the floor. So, in that respect, I like it more than Gex 3. But on the other hand, there isn't as much level variety in terms of the themes, which I think Gex 3 has the obvious upper hand in. They control more or less the same, so there's no real thing about that I'm for or against in either way. And even though most of the music tracks in Gex 3 have the similar backing, the I feel like they stick more out because of that. Like, I can vividly remember the Army Channel level variation, the Winter Channel level, all that kind of stuff. They just stick out a lot more. And, that's something neat about Gex 3 that it has when it comes to music. And, presentation, they also basically pretty much look the same, but I think Gex 3 has a slight upper hand again because of, a year or 2 extra beyond Gex 2, so they got to play around with the PlayStation's prowess a little more. In short, the comparisons aside, I think Gex 2 is okay. It's, out of the 3, it probably fares the best in terms of, a generally consistent performance and generally more consistent, feel. There isn't anything like the Mythology Network, that's for certain. So you're not going to get really overly frustrated about anything, and you also have a lot more freedom to choose which levels you want to do and which order to do them in. Because, I did unlock the final level, only having collected not even most of the remotes. And, you know, it's a similar case with Gecko. I don't know, I think the lack of variety of level themes aside, that you might want to play Gex 2 before you play Gex 3, because Gex 3, even though there's more level variety, they can also be a lot more tiring, especially with some of them that are linear hallways that require you going through the whole goddamn thing again, just to get to the other remote. So, yeah, it's not exactly... I mean, I like Gex 3 more in some respects and others not, but at the same time, it's a toss between these two. Gex 1 is like on an entirely different level. It's a unique beast, I'd say. And yes, for some reason, it does not count to you as getting that remote, nor will it ever. So, you're just gonna have to live with the fact that you will never have an in-game 100% save. Doesn't life just suck? Yep. It does. Anyway, so that's the end of Gex Enter the Gecko. With that being said, the next time I see you guys, I'll see you guys. So until then, see you later, and goodbye. May we never have to wait 3 years to finish a game ever again.